Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 SR diesel. As you can see here, this is it's a lovely car. It's quite unique really, not unique in the sense it's white, but it's got a few little extras on the car, but notably the Team Dynamics alloys, black alloys. It really is a stunning looking car. White cars can look great, or they can look like a bit of a blob, but this manages to just look absolutely fantastic. The sort of black grille, lower grille there, black inserts. It just looks absolutely fantastic. It's in lovely condition as well. Just 52,000 miles on this car, which I'll show inside. Bonnet very, very clean. Just the odd tiny little stone chip. But you have to look quite hard to find them. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth on the panel work there. You've got the black wing mirrors as well, privacy glass, black panoramic roof, so it really does have a lovely contrast going on around the car. It's very, very nice as well. Come back to this angle here, it looks absolutely superb with the black lower diffuser, smoke glass above the Honda badge there in the middle section. Just, it's subtle but really, really effective. Again, around the back of the car, all very clean and tidy. Off side of the car, driver's side, again, lovely and smooth on the panels. Just to continue down the final bit for you. It's all very, very nice. It isn't to say, of course, there will be the odd little mark on the car. It's a 4 or 5 year old car now, 50,000 miles, so it's going to have the odd little mark, but they are few and far between, and it really is a truly gorgeous looking car. Coming to the boot area, obviously it's a huge boot on the Civics here, 60/40 fold on the rear seats, and nice to see the last owner has the load liner fitted to protect the carpeted areas underneath. Coming to the back of the car, it's really, really clean inside this car. Loads and loads of rear legroom in the back, as is the case with these Civics. The leatherwork looks factory fresh. It looks absolutely beautiful back here. Passenger door card, again, all the little recesses have been kept really, really nicely. Full set of original Honda Civic mats, tailored mats for the car. And again, passenger seat looks as though it's hardly ever been sat on. Coming to the driver's door card, again, all very clean and tidy. This is the footwell area there. And then driver's seat, again, really good. There is a little bit of wear just on the bolster there, you can see, but it's just painted surface basically, but that's pretty much the only wear that I can see inside the car. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard itself looks in absolutely superb condition, virtually as new. Sat nav, you can see they're working exactly as intended. I'll pop the car into reverse. Got that lovely clear gridded parking camera as well. Sorry, shaky hands. Dual zone climate control system, all working exactly as intended as well. And then if I come over here, hopefully you can see 52,845 miles. This wonderful, wonderful dashboard, and that's pretty much the view you get as a driver. I know it's subjective, but I just don't think there's a better dashboard anywhere in this class of car. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack is here with the car, and very importantly, so is the lock and wheel nut key. Finally, just to come under the engine bay, which Honda do a pretty good job of presenting. It's lovely under here. Cam chain driven engines, no cam belts to do on these cars. Really nicely laid out for basic maintenance there. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 SR diesel. Car's registered LX65XBM, and mileage at the start of the road test is 52,846 miles. The reason we do these road tests is basically so anyone that's looking at this car online in an advert actually gets to see that car in operation. A lot of our customers come from far afield these days, so the least we can do is go to the time and effort to do this for you. We know just how annoying it can be to go and see a car which has been described as being really nice, only to get there to find when you drive it it's got a fundamental problem which you clearly should have been told about. So that's exactly why we do it. The road test is also done on the same road test route as any prospective buyer would go on if offered a test drive. These lovely quiet country roads, we're a stone's throw from the motorway. You'd never believe it when you get here, it's so quiet. It does make for a relaxing test drive. This particular car, obviously it's been very well maintained and it feels it straight away. It feels absolutely tight as a drum. Engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, as these Honda engines tend to do, and it settles to a completely smooth and even idle. No warning lights at all on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car, whether it be petrol, diesel or otherwise. The engines themselves, they're just really lovely diesel engines. It does all the things you want a diesel engine to do, performs really well, gives amazing real world economy as well, but it's just a lovely unit to use day in day out. It's nice and flexible, you can get in the higher gears nice and early, and it's sort of smooth and refined in operation as well. Obviously being a Honda, they're the reputation for reliability is absolutely unmatched in the class as well, but it's also, it's the longevity of the engine. They last at huge mileages as well. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car is absolutely perfect, bite point's exactly where it should be, and the actual operation of the clutch itself is nice and smooth in operation as well. Clutch then feeds through into the manual gearbox, 6-speed gearbox. Sorry, that's just parking sensors picking up the hedge. Gearbox, I've always go on about in these videos. It's just such a classy gearbox that Honda make a real effort to make these controls feel really good in hand, the ones you're going to use most frequently, and they go to a lot of effort. So basically the gear change, the gear lever here is joined from here through to the gearbox by a cable, as most front-wheel drive cars are these days. The problem is that can make for some very vague and kind of lifeless gear changes, but Honda, this sort of feels mechanical, so they've put a lot of thought into kind of how that lever feels in hand, and I can't feel any kind of wear or looseness in the gear linkage at all. It feels absolutely as new in that respect. The gear change quality is just brilliant, it really is. Steering of the car, which has always been a strong point on the Civics, no different in this one. It's lovely and accurate, very precise in operation, and it just suits the character of the car perfectly. It also tracks absolutely bullet straight, and there's no vibrations coming through the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Chassis of the vehicle, it's, again, Honda just done such a fabulous job on it. It rides very comfortably, it's very well damped, but it's still got that lovely athletics kind of sporty feel to it that really encourages people who still actually enjoy driving. You can get a real sort of buzz out of driving them. They respond really nicely. What I'm looking for on road test is basically when you hit a bump like that, I just don't want to hear any kind of other noises coming through, any sort of secondary kind of chatterings or knocking noises, and there's nothing at all in this car. It's exactly as it should be. Brakes in the car, it's just been through the workshops actually, and it looks like the discs and pads look relatively recent on the car because they've got loads and loads on them. The car's going off for an independent MOT tomorrow morning, so they'd pick up on anything anyway, but they look in very fine order. Brake pedal itself, just make sure no one's behind me, but really solid brake pedal on the car, bites really nicely, pulls the car nice and straight, doesn't pull violently left or right, and the pedal itself, there's no vibrations or pulsing coming back to the brake pedal at all, so all in very, very fine order. Looking around inside the car, I mean, these are beautifully made cars, and it's in fantastic condition in here. The dashboard pretty much looks as new. There's not merest hint of a squeak or buzz or creak from the interior of the car. They're just beautifully bolted together. But as I say, in all these things, it is subjective, I know it is, but this dashboard is just absolutely fantastic. Not only to look at, because it's brilliant, but also to use. The sat-nav's dead simple, quality of the switchgear is absolutely brilliant. Every button has a beautifully damped feel to it that you just know it's going to feel like that in 10-15 years time as well. Air conditioning's pumping out absolutely ice cold air. Of course, it's dual zone, so you can have different temperatures side to side. Heated seats work perfectly. I checked those earlier, although not required at the moment because it's very warm today. And then you got this just fantastic view in front of me. We've got this 2-tier dashboard. Honda put all the information you're going to want to look at most readily, information up on there. So if you press a button on the climate control system, the readout will come up there, so you're not having to look down low into the dashboard. But the best part for me is this digital speedo directly up in front. I've had heads up kind of display things on cars before, and I don't like them. They kind of float in the windscreen of the car. I find them slightly off-putting. That I find really good because it's kind of in your peripheral vision. You know it's there, you can see it as clear as day, but you just don't have to take your eyes off the road for a millisecond. Absolute genius, it really is. Down below that, a more conventional pod of 3 dials. Obviously your rev counter, the most dominating one, and then you've got your fuel and temperature gauges, and everything in there working exactly as it should as well, by the way. Steering wheel pretty much looks as new and feels as new in hand. You've got your cruise control on the top right up here, information display and radio on the left hand side, and then hands-free functions further down on the left hand side there. But everything's functioning exactly as intended. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it, albeit brief, is just to show that this very car in operation, as I said, but also to be honest about it, to let you know if there's anything that you would immediately sort of shout out to you to say there's something wrong. There's nothing. It drives absolutely beautifully. I love these cars. I've got a 1.6 Civic myself, so this is a bit of a busman's holiday for me jumping in this. But this has just been loved and cared for, and spec'd very nicely. So whoever will be buying it next will be buying a really fabulous car.